So you want to buy a house, and unless you're flush with cash, you're going to be getting a mortgage. If you want to close on your loan and move into your new home, you do not want to make your lender's job harder and drive them crazy in the process. So to make your home buying experience a lot easier, first, hit that like button, keep listening, and do not do these 8 things. First and foremost, please do not work with an agent that is not going to communicate with your mortgage lender. Communication is one of the most important things in a real estate transaction. A lender needs to know what is going on in your transaction. And as the licensed real estate professional, we're the one that's up to date on everything. We understand everything. We're going to be able to answer the lender's questions and explain things accurately to them. Home buyers, they don't buy a home every day. You might use terminology incorrectly. You might not fully understand what is going on in the process, and it's really important that your lender has lender to agent communication on a regular basis. And it also helps your agent represent you better when they're in constant contact with your mortgage lender. The second thing is picking your lender based on them having the lowest rates and the lowest cost. That is not a good strategy for you as a buyer, first and foremost, because you probably aren't getting as good of a deal as you think you are, but it really drives lenders crazy when they are having to compete solely on rate and cost, because a lot of home buyers don't understand how to compare apples to apples when they are looking at quotes from more than one mortgage lender. A lender might be offering you a lower rate, but their closing costs are higher because to get that lower rate, they're charging you money to buy down the rate by paying points. Another lender might not have taken that strategy. They're just giving you, this is the rate that you qualify for, and they could have given you the same exact lower rate, but because you're not comparing apples to apples and going item by item on the good faith estimates and closing disclosures that they're giving you, you don't see where the differences are. The next thing that plays into just picking someone based on the rates and the costs that they're charging is making sure that you consider the non-financial consequences of your choice. Just because someone has the lowest rate, the lowest cost, doesn't mean that they're going to be the worst lender to work with, but it also doesn't mean that they're going to be the best. There is something truly to be said for working with a mortgage professional who is going to give you phenomenal customer service. When you and your agent and the closing attorney need them, they're going to be responding to those emails quickly. They're going to take your phone calls. They're available to meet with you in person if need be. And saving money isn't always worth the extra headache that can come along with working with someone that isn't going to give you top-notch service because they have a lower rate and fee structure. Third on the list is lying or omitting information on your application or in your future responses with your lender. Listen, guys, if you have something on your credit report or in your financial history, you can't hide it from the lender. They are going to eventually find it, and you do not want them finding it just a few days before closing. Just be honest, fill the application out accurately, don't omit anything just because you think it isn't important or I don't think that they need to know this about me. The information you provide is what's going to make or break your ability to get the loan. Don't make the lender's job harder for them. Don't make your realtor's job harder by not providing honest and accurate information up front. You do not want it to come back and bite you in the bum in the end. A lot of closings can fall through just a couple of days before the closing date because buyers have neglected to be honest and accurate, and I don't want to see that for you. Poor communication. We hear a lot about my realtor doesn't communicate frequently, or I haven't heard from my lender in a few days, but something that people don't talk about frequently is a buyer not communicating properly with their mortgage lender. You take forever to respond. They ask you for information and you wait until the last minute to send those docs in or answer those questions, or you wait multiple days after they need the information and they're having to hunt you down and beg you for it. It's really important to communicate with your lender to get them the information that they need in a timely manner. It helps them do their job for you and keep you on track to meet your closing deadline. Also, if you know that you're going to have a challenge with being able to respond or provide information, let your lender know that up front. And tell your agent too, if you're going on a trip, if you have strange work hours and you're not able to check email or answer your phone during those hours, or if you're having a hard time getting the information from a third party, or maybe you don't fully understand what they're asking you for and you need clarification and guidance, just be upfront about it. Let people know what your limitations and challenges are so that your lender and maybe even your realtor can help you get through that and keep things moving on time. Number 5 is sending your lender paperwork that they have not asked you for. Please do not do this, guys. Please, please. I'm asking you for you. I'm asking you for your realtor. I'm asking you for your mortgage lender. If your lender has not asked you for a certain document, whether it's related to your finances or the real estate transaction, please do not send them that paperwork, because once you send it to your mortgage lender, that becomes part of your file and the underwriter is going to see that. And if it's not something that they need or want and the underwriter has it, they now have the ability to dig into that even more, ask questions for clarification, or ask for even more information that wasn't even necessary to begin with. Number 6, making deposits that cannot be traced. We typically see this happen when a family member wants to gift money, or maybe someone borrowed some money from you and they're paying you back, and you just have this massive amount of money that is, being deposited into your bank account. And massive is subjective. For some home buyers, it could be $1,000 is a random deposit that would not be seen in their banking history. For another buyer, it might be a $10,000 deposit is not the norm for them. If you have money coming into and out of your account, the underwriter is going to be reviewing that, and they see your patterns, they see your habits, and if there's something in there that is out of the norm, they're going to ask questions about it. They're going to need information in writing, in print, that traces where that money came from, why you received it, or why you sent that money out. You don't want to deposit large chunks of cash or even checks that you don't have any kind of documentation for where it came from, why you have it. The lender needs it. If you know that you're going to be getting money coming in, please call your lender, tell them, talk to them about it, and make sure that you are handling it the way that they need and want you to. Please don't leave town without telling your mortgage lender well in advance of your trip. That's number 7. It has happened many times. Buyers have vacations planned while they're under contract, and they might tell their real estate agent, but they might forget to tell their mortgage lender, or maybe they forget to tell both of you. Whether it's a long weekend out of town in the mountains or a 10-day trip to Europe or the Caribbean, if you're going out of town and you're not going to have access to phone, email, and important financial documents, you need to tell your realtor and your mortgage lender ahead of time. Please don't forget to tell them if you're leaving town, because they may need something from you quickly, and if you're unable to give them that information, it could possibly jeopardize your closing time. So please tell them before you go. Number 8, forget to come to closing. It's different in every state in the country, but here in South Carolina, we are still signing our closing documents in person. And if you are not able to be there physically in person for the closing, then you're going to need to designate an authorized power of attorney to sign for you. And a lot of times what we see happen are, home buyers that think only one of them needs to sign. And especially if you're out of town, you might get halfway to your closing driving in from out of town, and that's when you all of a sudden mention that only one of you is on the way to sign papers, and your lender and your realtor breaks it to you that no, in fact, you both have to physically be present. So here in South Carolina, you have to come to your closing, and if you can't physically be there, you need to designate a power of attorney to sign on your behalf. So there you have it. I'd love to make your home buying journey a lot easier, which is why I care so much about providing home buyer education on this channel. Links are in the description for my home buying and relocation guides. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. It helps the algorithm. It helps you. See you back again soon.